Now, first of all, before defining what is a vector, what is the difference between a vector and a scalar? Or what is the difference between speed and velocity? Or what is the difference between distance and displacement? Now, speed and velocity difference is that speed is only gives you magnitude, whereas velocity gives you magnitude as well as direction. That's the difference between vector and a scalar. Vector quantity means it is giving you the measure of the magnitude as well as direction also, whereas scalar is only magnitude. So, vector means magnitude plus direction, and therefore a vector is represented by a line and an arrow sign. Magnitude of the vector is basically the length of the line, and the arrow gives you the direction. Now, if we want to add two vectors, then let's take another vector as this, and this vector as, I'll start with this. Now, the addition of these two vectors will be a third vector, which is this one, known as a triangular law. So, that's the addition of two vectors. Now, these vectors in two dimensions, that is there in your SAT 2, Mathematics 2 level, where the two-dimensional vector is represented by, let's take A with an arrow sign, and it's equal to, I'll give you an example, 2i plus 3j. Now, what is I, what is j? I is a unit vector in the direction of x, and j is a unit vector in the direction of y. If you take a vector in 3 dimension, then of course we will add a k also, which is a unit vector in the z direction. Now, that is my A. If you want to add A and B, which is another vector, let's say minus I plus 3j, then the addition will be component wise. So, A plus B, which is a third vector, will be equal to 2i minus I, that is I, plus 6j. Now, that is how you add two vectors. Similarly, you want to multiply a vector by a number, let's say 3, then what will be 3a? 3a will be equal to, you multiply that number by each component. So, it will become 6i plus 9j. Similarly, if you want to find the magnitude part of this particular representation of vector, then that will become, let's say magnitude of A will be equal to square root of component of E, I, that is square, and component of j square, that will become square root of 2 square plus 3 square. In general, if you have a vector which is ai plus bj, then the magnitude of that vector will be square root of a square plus b square. If you want to multiply a vector by a scalar, each component is multiplied by this. Now, let's take one important question to explain this. Now, given the vectors u, which is equal to minus 5i plus 4j, and v, which is equal to 3i minus j, what is the magnitude of 2u minus 3v? So, what is the magnitude? If u is minus 5i plus 4j, v is 3i minus j, then what will be the magnitude of 2u minus 3v? Now, let's see what is 2u. So, 2u means you multiply each component by 2, that will become negative 10i plus 8j, that is 2u. Similarly, what will be 3v? Now, 3v will be equal to 9i minus 3j. Now, what will be 2u minus 3v? Now, 2u minus 3v will become minus 19i plus 11j. And ultimately, finally, my answer is, that is modulus of 2u minus 3v, that will be equal to square root of negative 19 square plus 11 square. So that gives you magnitude of a vector in this particular form.